Mabuhay pageant fans, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hey Adam G. So how are you all doing, guys? So let's finally talk about my final hot picks for Mister Supranational this year. The preliminary competition took place last night and I'm now ready to reveal my hot picks or my final hot picks for this round. And to be honest, guys, nothing has changed that much here on my final leaderboard, assuming you all watched my previous content tackling my first leaderboard for this pageant, as that heavy favorites have been killing it on the ground, with some guys emerging as possible contenders as well. Right now, guys, I'm seeing 7 contestants who could really win the title, so here they are. So before we begin, I want to give a huge shout out to Miss Astrology Sibao Instagram account for all these HD photos for my content. So here we go. At my number 10 spot is Casey De Vries from Netherlands. I hate to be sliding this guy down in my list as he has been doing his homework since he set foot in Poland. I feel he is now showing so much personality, whether on his reels or on stage, as he is such a handsome and charming lad talaga. However, I wish he could have polished his poses and physique more to give a lasting performance, as his pose, like this, in the formal wear round was definitely a no-no. Anyway, he is such one dashing lad, because that face is very commercial. And so, win or lose, I hope this guy could continue what he has started with his grown-up project, because he seems intent to spread his beautiful cause on social media. And now we go to my 9th spot, and I'm giving it to Alvaro Hermes from Spain. Much as this guy proved to be so confident and charming on stage, I feel there will still be no back-to-back win for this country this year. Yeah. However, it still does not diminish my admiration for this handsome guy, as he still proved to be a competitive candidate. Yes, kung tatanungin niyo talaga, if you ask me, it's just that there are far more formidable guys than him in this competition this year. And I'm also seeing a different crown for him at the moment. Had he been sent to Mister International in Thailand this year instead, he could be more suited there, as his face is very commercial. So what do you think? Now we go to my 8th spot, and I'm giving it to Joel Farak from Peru. So close yet so far. And I really can't resist this guy's look. This guy's face is truly commercial, because watching his performance on stage feels like a handsome man from a perfume ad jumping straight out of that billboard to walk for Mister Supranational, as he is really that sexy and brooding, because his turns on stage were very clean and professional. Talagang professional. He really has that spark. In fact, that wink in the end during his formal wear turn caught me. He was so irresistible there. However, I don't know if all these are enough to go way past my final top 5 at the moment, because, you know, there's just far more competitive guys than him in this year's competition. But I really wouldn't mind being proven wrong if this guy could go all the way to top 5 in the end. And now we go to my 7th spot, and I'm giving it to Sona Manipon from Laos. This guy has really grown to be a formidable competitor since arriving in Poland. Not only he is very charming, but he really has great showmanship on stage. The way he moved on stage, especially when he flipped the back of his coat during the top model round, was really outstanding, because it really made me see him in a different light. Na may angas din pala siya, and not just someone who looks so cute on stage. As this guy is just always well polished, whether performance-wise or style-wise. So looking at him, it feels like he has a brand of his own in this competition. So if it weren't for our very own Brandon killing it as well in Mister Supranational, I would also easily put this guy in my top 5. Yup. Because for everything he has shown so far, he is also worthy of a top 5 placement in this pageant. Ganun yung napupukaw yung imagination natin. Everyone finds him lovable and humble. So a lot of people are really rooting for Laos, for Mr. Laos to make it so big in this competition as well. And I wouldn't mind being proven wrong again if this guy makes it all the way to top 5. And now we go to my 6th spot, and I'm giving it to Utman ISA Bangura from Sierra Leone. Hands down, this guy has really strong stage presence. And I still couldn't forget his turn during the top model round wherein he looked like a true blue model with his performance there. It felt like, someone so professional walking down the ramp for New York Fashion Week. I really had goosies watching him, to be honest. And so during preliminary competition, he toned it down naman just by being cool and suave on stage. You can really see how professional he is as a model. And just looking at him, his body of work is definitely a celebration here in this pageant. And as Brandon would say, he is the chocolate jaguar. So it's really a crime that I'm also putting him on my 7th spot right now, or 6th spot. And now we go to my top 5, and number 5 on my list here is, surprise, Rafay Yanes from Colombia. Like, who is this guy? Where is this guy coming from? Where did this guy come from all of a sudden? It's as if he went past Zoom, the front runners, when he was declared one of the top 3 contestants during the top model category. Suddenly, Mr. Venezuela and Mr. Philippines have a new rival for the crown. Because the way this guy registered on screen was so strong that I couldn't blame the judges if they went for it. Because if you will ask me personally, he may not be the most handsome in the bunch, but he surely more than made it up with his very manly aura, imposing height, and strong stage presence. And it also helped that he has a very different hairstyle, which easily sets him apart here in the competition. So honestly, I wouldn't mind if this Colombian hunk makes it all the way to top 5 because he is really that strong. Now, my only problem is that I heard he doesn't speak English. And for sure, if ever he comes to top 5, I would still be confident he'll be able to deliver well because he'll be aided by Spanish interpreters on standby in the pageant. So, ganun ako kabilib sa kanya. That's why I'm putting him all the way to top 5. He really exudes mystery. There's something about him that will make you take a second look at him. So that's why I'm putting him so high in my list all of a sudden. Thank God for the top model round. And now we go to my 4th spot, and I'm giving it to Bray Vargas from Dominican Republic. For some reason, I don't get the hype about him at the start, but as I follow him more in this pageant, I realize he could be a worthy contender too. First of all, that angular or square jaw face, which I so can relate, easily makes him a standout, as he has a very interesting profile as well. He's the first from his country to be a Mr. Contestant and a politician as well, given with what he said during the sashing ceremony. So it isn't surprising that he has a huge social media following. And checking him out, he also has a very engaging personality. And so he can easily work the crowd. So feeling ko maning-mani na lang sa kanya yung prelims. Because performance-wise on stage, he is also that good. I was so surprised to see that. Now he can work that stage with his brooding looks and appeal. But if there is anything I may have to nitpick at the moment, I hate how hoochie he was with this hand gesture while walking down the ramp. I thought it didn't look professional. But again, when he gets it right, he really gets it right, like being shortlisted for top model category last time. So I hope he can learn to strike a balance between being personable and what is enough to show on stage. And now we go to my top 3, and number 3 on my list here is, no surprise, Brandon Spiritu from the Philippines. Truth be told, he's the ultimate reason why I am so pumped up to follow this year's pageant. Ang lakas-lakas kasi talaga ng laban natin for the first time ever in this pageant system. I really feel this is the first year that our country will be finally able to break the top 20 impasse at this pageant just because of the quality of delegate out of Brandon Spiritu right now. Because Brandon is not only a handsome man with a very commercial face, but also with a very engaging personality. Ang lakas-lakas talaga, guys, ng personality niya. So it easily translates on stage. From his top model to his preliminary performance, litaw na litaw talaga yung personality niya. Take for instance, yung top model performance niya. He was very maangas there as he showed so much character. And with his preliminary performance naman, he was noticeably mellow, but still retained his punch and personality on stage. So, as we talk about his prelim performance, I really like his formal wear performance more. Kasi, that look at his watch play was certainly refreshing to my eyes. As if he was playing a character on stage. That one hand on the waist after was so professional and classy too. And when we talk about his swim performance naman, he played it cool and neat too. I didn't feel any ounce of sleaze or objectification when he walked down because he was really smiling a lot. So I was really drawn more to his face. Even if I must say, he really has one of the ripped bodies in the competition. Ganda rin ng katawan ni Brandon. But more importantly, ang ganda ng smile niya. He's really making a strong case about him winning, even if he doesn't possess the proverbial Mr. Supra prototype of having a towering height and beard. Pero iba talaga ang charisma ni Brandon on stage, and I'm sure the organization is seeing his potential right now. Now, the only reason why I'm only ranking him at my 5th spot or my 3rd spot at the moment is because I don't know if Brandon has displayed enough growth and temperament when it comes to being diplomatic with his communication skills, as per my observation. Because part of his job of being a title holder is sounding diplomatic and statesmanlike when it comes to fielding questions, not just from the press, but from all stakeholders of the pageant. So I hope he's getting the full grasp of the responsibility this job entails with true character and growth if he really wins this title. And now we go to my runner-up of this list, and I'm giving it to, sayang, maybe I could be wrong, Marcos de Freitas from Venezuela. He really has the Mr. Supra prototype. As in, lalaking-lalaki talaga ang galawan on stage. As every time he comes out on stage, I couldn't help but be stunned by his strong stage presence. He really has this smile which could really disarm you, and so he is working on his charm offensive, especially on his formal wear term. His facial transitions from smiling to brooding was so fluid. The posture then, the elegance, the turns, smile, everything. It feels like we could be heading to a second victory of Venezuela in Mister Supranational. Com skills-wise, I know he will put his own stamp to it. It remains to be seen whether he will speak in English or in Latin come Q&A, but whatever he chooses, he will surely speak from the heart. And finally, we go to my overall winner of this list, and nothing has changed. I'm still giving it to Dr. Fizil Hize. For me, he is still the #1 guy to beat at the moment. Yeah. Dr. Fizil, to be honest, makes it so easy for us to appreciate his overall showmanship in this pageant, as he knows how to have fun during his performance. He was so fun to look at during the swimwear round, and when the occasion calls for it, he could be charismatic, which he did with his formal wear turn during the prelims. So overall, he is such a powerful gentleman. That walk was very sublime, but powerful. And so at this point, I honestly don't have anything more to say except if he won't win, the lowest probably he could get is top 2 or 3. Because crowning Dr. Fizil would really open up a whole new world and inclusivity in male pageantry, especially in Mister Supranational, which is known to crown Latinos with a huge towering height and sexy beard. Hence, I want something for a change. I want something new for a change. And so crowning Dr. Fizil will be a breath of fresh air. Not only is history being made, but a whole lot of audience in the whole world will appreciate this pageant system more. So do you agree with me? With my thoughts about my overall #1 guy? So there you go, guys. What do you think about my list? To be honest, I no longer care what you will have to say back to me if I don't get my winner right. I make my own list depending on what I see from the contestants on stage and social media. Anyway, thank you